Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is also Chris, and this is MMA for you. We're going to be doing our predictions for UFC Fight Night 30, Machida versus Munoz, which happens on October 26th. Before we get started with that, I'd like to promote Q's Lounge. They play all the fights and whatnot, right?
They do.
Q's
Quick
Lounge.
shout out to Rexy. And also, quick shout out to my friend Pat Lego. He's the owner of The Excuse. It's a clothing, urban clothing brand in Australia. And I just want to give him a shout out. I'll be sporting some of his gear on the show soon, hopefully. But take some time to get the apparel from the land down under over to the States here. So yeah. Quick shout out to Rexy. Yeah, also quick shout out to the Boiler Room too. He
Boiler Room, Santa Ana.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I've been.
You've been to the Boiler Room?
Yes.
With who?
It's friends. I mean, it's right across the street from Crosby.
Oh, okay. Well, that's Rex's also. It's like it's Q's like sister bar, whatever.
Okay, cool, man. Awesome. Yeah, man. Hit up those places. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, let's do this then, huh?
Let's do this.
Okay,
let me get the sun out of my eye real quick, though.
That sun's everywhere today. Okay, so yeah, on the main event we have Lyoto, the Dragon Machida, making his first fight at middleweight against Mark, the Filipino wrecking machine Munoz. Who you got, man?
This is a pretty easy one for me, personally, to pick. I got the Dragon, of course. Former UFC light heavyweight champion. One of the rare karate styles in the UFC. Uses distance and range really well. Very unorthodox striking. Counter puncher. Very accurate. Good footwork. Good movement. Good defense. Strong takedown defense. His first cut to 185, but and I don't really see him having a problem against Mark Munoz. No, disrespect to Filipino wrecking machine. Yeah,
man. The thing with Munoz, I mean, he's a good wrestler. He showed it against Tim Bosch, and when he gets you on the ground, his ground and pound is vicious. He's got some pretty heavy hands. His stand-up defense, though, hasn't been the greatest. He trains at Rain MMA, but yeah, I gotta give him Machida as well. I can see this similar to like the Bader fight, for example, or the Tito Ortiz fight. Machida will attack him from range, kind of pepper him, frustrate him. Munoz gets sloppy or something, goes in. Machida goes in for the kill or something. I can definitely see Machida shrug off takedowns, not get hit on the feet, but hit Munoz on the feet, and yeah, I think Machida all the way, man. Okay, for the co-main event, we got Melvin Guillard versus Ross Pearson. Man.
That sun is...
Yeah, that sun's
right
crazy.
in your face.
Yeah. I'll try and avoid it. This one's really hard for me to call if both these guys decide to stand. One thing about Pearson is he's shown more...
Can we move the camera out of the way, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So, the thing is, it's with Pearson, he's shown more consistency than Melvin Guillard. I mean, Melvin Guillard is the definition of inconsistent. He'll look great against like Mac Danzig or something like that, and then he'll lose to like a Joe Lozon the next minute. Pearson has some bad losses to like Cole Miller and whatnot, but for the most part, he's pretty consistent throughout his MMA career. Who do you got, man?
You know what? I'm going with consistency this time. I'm going with Ross Pearson. 15-6 record. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Trains at Alliance. Strong boxing. Uses combinations. Good defense. Grappling has been improving. Yeah, I like his chances against Melvin. I like Melvin too. But this is probably going to be one of the more competitive matches on the card, and so from that perspective, it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, this one's tough for me to call. I'll go with Melvin Guillard though. One thing I've noted, out of his 31 wins, 20 of them are by KO or TKO, but out of his 12 losses, 9 of them are by submission. 30 years old, heavy hands, man. One punch KO power. His good boxing, really fast hands. Solid takedown defense, and when he does get taken down, he is pretty good at getting back to his feet. But his submission defense is kind of weak. He doesn't have to worry about that too much against Pearson. I'll go with Melvin here. I mean, this guy with his heavy hands, in and out movement and whatnot. I don't know if he'll be able to necessarily outbox Pearson, because Pearson's a pretty solid boxer himself. I'd argue that Guillard's the faster of the two, and that's why this one's really hard for me to call. Also, like you said, Ross Pearson's definitely a lot more consistent than Melvin Guillard, so it's tough for me to call. I think Melvin Guillard does have the more proven knockout power though, so I'll go with Guillard to win this one. Okay, next right after that we have Jimmy Manuwa versus Ryan Jimmo. This one, who do you got, man?
I got Ryan Jimmo. Jimmy Munoz is undefeated.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Ryan Jimmo trains at the Black Zillions. Good kickboxing, good clinch. He's got the GSP, effect on me. His fights are extremely not exciting, but
they're mainly clinch affairs. I mean, seriously, it's not even takedowns; it's clinch affairs.
So,
Yeah, this is an interesting fight because both of these guys are kind of on that top 11 to 15 light heavyweights. Somewhere around there. They're trying to really move up the ranks. The thing with Manuwa, he's 13-0, undefeated record with 12 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub, and he's never been past the second round. He's 33 years old, got some heavy hands and 1-punch KO power, good kickboxer, good knees. His grappling is improving. You saw it against Tyrell Diabate. Whenever Diabate would try and knee him, Manuwa would take him down. But his cardio has proven to be suspect. One thing about Jim on his 18-2 record, 7 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. Like you said, he's a good kickboxer. One thing that I think's gonna happen, and I'm picking Ryan Jimmo to win this too. I don't want him to win, to be honest with you. I just think he will win. I think what's gonna happen here is Ryan Jimmo is gonna stifle a lot of offense from Jimmy Manuwa. I think that when Manuwa will try and get off with something like some combination, Jimmo will probably go for the clinch, bully him up against the cage, kind of hold him there, rinse and repeat. Tire him out, rinse and repeat. The ego for crack fight kind of showed what Jimmo usually does in his fights, and I think Ryan Jimmo is just going to really try and stifle a lot of Manuwa's offense, which with boring clinching. So yeah, that's why I got Ryan Jimmo. You got Jimmo too, right?
I got Jimmo also.
Next fight after that, we have John Tuck versus Norman Parke. John Tuck is one of the only fighters in the UFC that fights out of Guam, actually. 7-0 undefeated, 7-0 undefeated record. Just some trivia, 3 wins by KO or TKO.
Useless information.
Yeah. 3 wins by sub. He's 29 years old. Training out the MMA lab with Benson Henderson. He's only been to decision once against Taekwon Zhang.
He trains with Bendo?
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Yep. All of his finishes, though, have been in the first round. But Norman Parke, man, what do you got? What do you know about these guys, man?
Not much, but I know John Tuck is undefeated, and all his finishes are in the first round. So, yeah, I mean, he's just got 1-punch knockout power, I'm assuming.
I don't know about that. It's more like he's fought lower level competition.
Oh, okay. Well then, I'm gonna go with John Tuck though.
You want?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Nice. I'm gonna go with Norman Parke here, man. I think it's an 18-2 record with 3 wins by KO or TKO, 12 wins by sub. Has his 2 losses by sub. He's 26 years old. He's on an 8-fight win streak right now. He's training out of Alliance. He's the Ultimate Fighter Tough Smashes winner. His stand-up is solid. You saw it against Kazi Tokadome. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 12 of his wins are by sub. He does have good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. Solid fighter, trains out of solid camp. I'll go with Norman Parke to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, we have Magnus Sedenblad versus Alessio Legionarius Sakara. This one's actually hard for me to call. Sedenblad won his last fight by guillotine against Jared Hammond. He lost his fight against Francis Cormon. It's not much I know. I don't know Sedenblad too well. Sakara, that guy's been in the UFC forever, and his record's not great. 15-10 record with 1 no contest. 9 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 4 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub. 32 years old. Man, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Oh, wow. 3-fight losing streak. He trains out of ATT. He is a good kickboxer, decent takedown defense, and a weak chin. Despite all that, I think he's still a little bit better fighter than Magnus Sedenblad. So I'll go with Alessio Sakara to win this one. There's a lot stacked against him, I must say. Who do you got, man?
I'm gonna go with Magnus Sedenblad just to play the devil's advocate here. I don't really know too much about him, but like you said, Sakara has a less than stellar, performance record, and I think Sedenblad's got a very, very decent shot at beating Sakara. Nice.
Yeah, and the final fight of the main card. And all this is on Fox Sports 2. The rest of the fights will be on Facebook. We got Phil Harris versus John Lineker. With Phil Harris, 22-10 record, 1 no contest, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 13 wins by sub. He has 4 losses by KO or TKO and 5 losses by sub. 30 years old, training. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is solid though. Lineker though, man, this guy's actually getting in line for a title shot, man. He's only 23 years old, heavy-handed guy, 3-fight win streak. He has really good, wild striking, improving takedown defense, a really good chin, super aggressive, pushes forward. I gotta go John Lineker. He's one of the most fun fighters to watch in the 125-pound division. Who do you got, man?
I am going with John Lineker also, for all the reasons that you had just mentioned. Yeah, like you said, he's got heavy hands, kind of wild striking, pushes forward, very aggressive, but good chin and good improving takedown defense.
Cool. Okay, on to the Facebook card. We got Al Iaquinta versus Piotr Holman. This one's actually hard for me to call. Both guys impressed me in their last bouts. I'm gonna go with Al Iaquinta, but man, Piotr Holman is not a bad fighter himself. Both of these fighters are 26 years old. Iaquinta trains out of Saralaga. He has good boxing, good counterpunching, moves well, and he's a good wrestler as well. Who do you got though?
I got. You want to grab your dog or?
Yeah.
Just want to put him on the show real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, boy?
Yeah. Girl.
Girl?
Yeah.
She's cute.
Yeah.
Who did you get?
I had Al Iaquinta.
What's up, boy?
It's a girl.
Girl?
Yeah.
I'm going with Holman.
Oh, nice.
10-fight win streak. Only 1 decision. Good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Very game. Good stand-up.
Yeah. In his last fight, he had a tough out. He fought Francisco Massaranduba Trinaldo. And he was losing that fight. He got hit in the body really hard. And then Piotr Holman managed to come back, and he Kimura'd him, actually. So, you know, that's why this one's hard for me to call, because these are both pretty good prospects, to be perfectly honest with you. I'll just go with Al Iaquinta to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, we got Andrew Craig versus Luke Barnett. Man, you know, one thing that's interesting about Luke, he's a middleweight, but man, he's 6'6", man. He's a big middleweight versus Andrew Craig's 6'1". So yeah, really interesting as far as the height goes in this fight. Who do you got, man?
You got Andrew Craig?
I got Andrew Craig.
I got Luke Barnett.
Nice.
He's undefeated. Good kickboxing. Has the, you know, some submission game too. So
he's tall as heck.
He's tall as heck.
Yeah, Andrew Craig's a guy I like though. His only loss was to Honey Marks, a kind of boring fight. But he's 9-1 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. 27 years old, very game opponent. You know, you saw that against Rafael Natal. He was losing, ended up getting a head kick knockout. Good kickboxer, solid wrestler too. Actually, you know, he's just a good athlete. Interesting prospect. Both these guys are actually pretty good prospects. I'm curious to see who's going to win this one. I'll go with Andrew Craig though. Okay, next fight after that, we got a women's fight as Jessica Andrade fights Rosie Sexton. I got Andrade, man. 9-3 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. Only 22 years old. Only one of her fights has gone to decision. She's a finisher. She has good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Her offensive wrestling is actually pretty good as well. I'll go with Jessica Andrade to beat the veteran, you know.
Personally, like I said, I'm not a big fan of watching women's MMA unless it's like, you know, like Miesha Tate or Ronda Rousey. But I'm gonna go with Rosie Sexton. She's got a lot of submission wins, huh?
Yeah.
She's good in the clinch, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kind of small for 135, which means she must be really small because 135 is pretty small as it is.
Yeah. So, she's fought most of her career, a good amount of her career at 125. Jessica Andrade looks like she would be able to cut to 125 as well, if the UFC ever had that division. Sexton's a veteran, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, 36 years old. She's fought a lot of the top names of the sport, you know. So yeah, but you know, I gotta go with Jessica Andrade to win this one. Okay, next one after that, Cole Miller fights Andy Ogle. So yeah, the thing is, so it's tough for me to call too because Andy Ogle's actually been kind of doing well in the UFC. I thought he beat Akira Kurosani, and then he went and beat what's his name? The Fluke, John Grisby.
The Fluke.
Yeah, his name is nickname's the Fluke. You know what though? I'll go with Cole Miller to win this one though. 19-8 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 14 wins by sub. He's 29 years old, training out of ATT. He's tall and lanky. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is really good. Stand-up's average, you know. But his stand-up defense, not the greatest. Who do you got, man?
I got Cole Miller also for the same reasons.
Oh, okay, yeah. And like I said, you know, he trains out of Team Calbon with Terry Adam and some other good guys. You know, stand-up's improving. Ground and pound's actually pretty solid. So he's an interesting prospect because I just didn't think much of him coming out of The Ultimate Fighter, and actually turned out to be pretty decent. Okay, next fight after that, Jim Hettis fights Mike Wilkinson. Not much I can say. I mean, Hettis' hype train kind of got derailed when he lost to Marcus Brimage. But he is only 10-1 record, 9 wins by submission, 26 years old, strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, good judo, sloppy boxing. I'll go Jim Hettis to win this one. How about you, man?
I got Mike Wilkinson.
Mm-hmm.
Just because.
Yeah. 8-1 record, 2 wins by KO Tico, 4 wins by sub. 26 years old. You know? Yeah, you know. I mean, he lost his last fight to Honey Jason by triangle choke. You know, an okay fighter, I suppose. Yeah, and finally, we got Michael Kuiper versus Brad Scott. Brad Scott usually fights at 170. I believe he fought Robert Whitaker at 170. I think he's actually fighting up to 185 for this fight. You know, he has an 8-2 record with 5 wins by KO Tico, 3 wins by sub. He's 24 years old. He's a good stand-up. He's a finisher. You know. Michael Kuiper, though, 12-2 record, 7 wins by KO Tico, 4 wins by sub. 24 years old, got a judo base, and his Muay Thai is actually improving. I'll go with Michael Kuiper to win this one. Who do you got, man?
I got Brad Scott.
Yeah.
Fighting up 1 weight class, good stand-up finisher. Yeah.
Yep. Cool, man. Let's recap then.
Let's recap.
Okay, on the main card, I got Lyoto Machida over Mark Munoz.
I got the Dragon.
Okay.
Also.
With Melvin Guillard versus Ross Pearson, I got Melvin Guillard.
I got Ross Pearson.
Okay. Jimmy Manuwa fights Ryan Jimmo. I got Ryan Jimmo.
I've got Jimmo also.
Okay. Norman Parke fights John Tuck. I got Norman Parke.
I got John Tuck.
Okay. Magnus Sedenblad fights Alessio Sakara. I got Alessio Sakara.
I got Sedenblad.
Okay. And finally, Phil Harris fights John Lineker. I got John Lineker.
I got who did I get on this one?
That was Lineker.
I think I got Lineker also.
Okay. On the Facebook prelims, Piotr Hallman fights L.I. Quinta. I got L.I. Quinta.
I got Hallman.
Okay. Luke Barnett fights Andrew Craig. I got Andrew Craig.
I got Luke Barnett.
Okay. Jessica Andrade fights Rosie Sexton. I got Jessica Andrade.
I got Rosie Sexton.
Okay. Cole Miller versus Andy Ogle. I got Cole Miller.
I got Cole Miller.
Jimmy Hettis fights Mike Wilkinson. I got Jimmy Hettis.
I got Wilkinson.
And finally, Michael Kuiper fights Brad Scott. I got Michael Kuiper.
I got Brad Scott.
Okay, so that's pretty much it for our prediction for UFC Fight Night 30, Machida versus Munoz. If you have any comments, just leave them below. You got any final words to say, my man?
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to the GSP Hendricks fight. What is that, UFC 160?
Yeah, 167, I think.
67. But, you know, I always like watching the Machida fight, and, you know, so, yeah, I mean, the GSP fight's the one I'm really looking forward to, but, you know, there's a lot of UFC, so, just want to give a quick shout out once again to Rexy, Q's Lounge, and Boiler Room, and also to Pat Lego from The Excused Urban Apparel in Australia. Hopefully I will get my snapback soon so I can sport that on this show, and then you know, show you all the fresh gear that you know, I'll be sporting.
Cool, man. So that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.